All right. There is 1.5 trillion updates. So I'm just going to prioritize the most important ones, and then we'll leave some time at the end for some macro strategic discussions. Um, Give me uno momento as I share my screen. On the last call that we did, which was Friday, I believe, Friday or Saturday, we had covered the release of the e-commerce as a module, which was the biggest of big announcements, which my dear friend Alan wasn't actually on. So I'm going to show that again because there's not enough times that I can show that. And there's still so many things there that need to be explained. We'll start with that, and then we'll pivot directly into some very, very exciting stuff that I have, which will set us up for kind of the strategic discussion. So, if you, I'm going to share my screen. I was already sharing. Let me know if you can see my screen. Yeah, great. Yeah, lovely. Give me a second. Let me PIP away. Yes. Okay. Cool. Surely, if you have landed on a garage.app, you will have noticed that the interface has changed. The homepage has changed to something that looks eerily similar to Amazon or eBay or any of the large e-commerce platforms. Because as I mentioned, May 1st was the day that we actually went live with our commerce product, which now allows any company to launch their e-commerce business with Garage inside of their office and actually outside of their office. And I've now onboarded about 6 e-commerce companies who are going to publish. They've already added their SKUs and added their products. These are just dummy products that I had made to populate to see the testing, but 6 or 7, I think 7 actually, companies have now onboarded. They just need to publish, make their e-commerce store go live, which they will do very shortly, but they've added all their products and seen the workflows. But the big thing that we had to do since our last call was to integrate the same GaragePay system that I spent so much time explaining to you guys and demonstrating to you guys about 3 weeks ago. The same system that allows Garage to collect um, payments from anywhere in the world or fiat from multiple payment methods that had to be embedded into the e-commerce system, which it now is. What also comes along with that is the automated permissions. So that entire end-to-end system is now live for us to be able to offer to physical product companies. So I will give a quick demonstration of what that looks like from both sides of the equation. And then, I can show you some of the more fun features as it pertains to the e-commerce. One cool point, though, that's important for you guys to follow along with, Garage is dead in the middle of Amazon and Shopify. So I'll just take 2 minutes to explain that. Amazon is a single gigantic retailer. So when you go on Amazon, they're not publicizing the brand or the company that's manufacturing the products. They put it there, especially if it's a big company like Nike or Apple, but they're not creating individual storefronts for each company. And on the other side of the token, you have Shopify, which has no singular marketplace, has no singular retail storefront, but is allowing any of their 7 million retailers to have their own storefront. So you can never have a holistic shopping experience on Shopify, but you also have a really unique interface with the brand that you're working with. So Garage literally has to straddle both of those worlds, because fundamentally Garage at its core and at its largest manifestation, say 5-10 years from now, is a gigantic retailer of millions of products, maybe hundreds of millions of products. But also, we are publicizing each business, each brand, each founder that is launching their storefront with us. So basically, we had to create one gigantic singular retail experience, but we still had to highlight each of the companies with their own storefront. So this is what the Garage app looks like, where you can see all the products, you can see all the categories for across all of the products, apparel, home, electronics, etc. You have your own cart, you have your own offer section, but you can also have a singular storefront inside of the Garage e-commerce store. So this is what each storefront looks like. So each company, each office in Garage will get something like this. So this is just one I created for myself, which is ironically also called Garage.app. But this will be the same that we give to Nike or Adidas, or probably not those companies, but you get my point, where they get their own storefront that they can design within the Garage e-commerce section, within the Garage e-commerce business, but they get to control all of their policy. They get to list all their products. They get to have their own page, which they can directly send to their users and customers, and people can follow them, and people can save their products, and people can shop directly with them as well inside of the larger Garage system. So that's something that's really unique about Garage, is that it's a big singular retail experience. With that being said, it also has individual storefront pages for any company that is launching their business on Garage. Okay, so quickly, I will show you guys what the seller dashboard looks like. As I mentioned on the last call, it's inside of the seller dashboard that all of the millions of features, not millions, but let's say hundreds of features that Shopify has that will allow a business owner to come and really run his business, his e-commerce business end to end, are present. I'm going to show you guys that, and I'm going to show you a checkout from the client's perspective to show you kind of what the relationship between seller and buyer actually is. So I just logged in to the seller dashboard. By the way, just to be clear, all logins are Garage logins. So if the same office, same login you use for your office login is the same one that you use here, is the same one that you use as an end user when you're buying a product. But here on the left-hand side, you can see where I get to manage my e-commerce business. I get to customize my storefront. I get to add all of my branding details. I get to then come and create the categories that I want to sell under. I get to add every single product. And with every single product, I get to add all these things that are really related to physical products, such as size variations, color variations, SKU variations, weight variations, shipping considerations, SEO management, but most importantly, and the singular thing that differentiates Garage, the paint by numbers comp plan manager. So here, if I'm creating a product, a physical product, I may add you. Let's say my product is an Apple Watch case. Okay, Apple Watch case, pretty straightforward product. I'm gonna simplify the description. I'm gonna put some random picture for now of a network change logo, but I should put more pictures that resemble the thing. And I'm going to add the price. So here I'm going to put the price as $1. Okay, it could be whatever. And of course, right below that, I get the multi-level dynamic paint by numbers comp plan manager, where for the first time in history, an e-commerce company with the click of a button can come and create any type of comp plan he wants and attach it per product, not per company. As I mean, as some of you know, I've been traveling across India, meeting with some of the biggest MLM companies that sell physical products across India. They're mostly healthcare, cosmetics, and all of them are awestruck at the fact that we give the ability for the founder to set a different commission per product. That's unheard of, which means if a business owner has one product that's high margin, he can set a bigger commission. And if he has a product that's lower margin, he can set a smaller commission. It's so powerful when you are getting into the realm of physical products. But in any capacity, I'm going to put a 2-level comp plan here for this $1 Apple Watch case. Let's say 10% and 5%. I could put inventory data connection. I could put shipping information in terms of weightage. And I'm going to skip all of that for now. I'm just going to put the price, and I'm going to publish this as active straight to my store.
It's not an Apple Watch with case. It's an
Apple Watch case, yeah.
People buy the cases?
Bro, it's like a massive market. You don't know that? Case.
That's
Literally.
not Apple Watch.
It's just a case. I'm just giving an example of it. This is like a very popular type of product. Millions of these are sold every week, right? It's like saying iPhone case. I'm sure that, iPhone without the watch.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like millions and millions of those. Amazon is one of the biggest accessory dealers in the world. Accessory being electronic accessories, right? So I'm just using that as an example. Could have been anything, but I just use it as an example. Oh shit, it says out of stock because I didn't update the inventory. 1 second. Let me come back here and put edit and put stock SKU. Where do I take the stock? Ship address? No. Track quantity, put 25. So boom. So 25 in stock. So I just added that product. Now, if somebody who is not Sharpan, let's use whoever I'm logged into in this browser, goes to garage.app, I just want to show you guys something. Until now, I don't want to look you guys when I say this. Until now, we've been targeting, let's say, a committed customer. Whether it's the affiliates or the founders, they're committed. They're more committed than the average shopper, right? So that's why, for example, Nate Jackson is saying, email me the link, or he's like, people are going out of their way to participate. Typically, affiliates and business owners have that type of initiative. I'll tell you who doesn't have that initiative. The guy buying an Apple Watch case, right? Or the guy buying a pair of slippers, or the guy buying a pair of shoes, or the guy buying a pair of pants, or whatever he's buying. Now that we're entering the realm of retail shopping, the end user experience has to be as simple as Amazon. I'm going to show you that right now. And so don't ever think that the experience that the affiliate or the business owner has, where he has all these features and all this complexity and all this ammunition, the end user, the experience you're about to see, is the complete opposite of that. That the end user doesn't care about anything. He cares about buying his toothpaste or whatever he's interested in. Some guy sent him a link to buy some toothpaste to get some commission. He's going to buy it. And that's what he cares about. So that's a really big distinction that we are now introducing the vast majority of people who, until they make their first purchase with Garage, don't actually know what's happening under the hood. They just think they're buying something. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys from that perspective as well. Right now, the seller, everything I just showed you is from the seller's perspective. And of course, he's a committed person because he's the one making money off of this. But I'm now going to show you what the end user looks like. So I'm just sharing my screen again. Now I'm logged in. I mean, I'm just here as a regular guy. This is me landing on Garage as a regular Joe Schmo. And I can come here and I can see, oh, there's an Apple Watch case. Interesting. Let me click on it. Oh, there's only one picture. There should be more pictures and I should see information, more information. This business didn't upload any information. I mean, obviously I didn't because I just did it in front of you guys. But hypothetically, he's interested in buying it. He would literally, all he has to do is click add to cart. It automatically got added to his cart. He has to come here and click continue to checkout. In his cart, it summarizes all the products he's wanted to purchase. If he wants to purchase one, he can purchase one. If he wants to purchase 50, he can purchase 50 of different products and services. I'm going to go ahead with one. I'm going to come back to why this is actually super cool, by the way. This cart checkout is not as simple as you would think, but I'll come back to that later. Continue to checkout. It can ask him, oh, who are you? Oh, it's saying, are you Red Bear in 2020? That's nice. It already logged me in because I guess I was logged in on this account as Alan. So it's going to be like, this is your shipping address. I've already added a shipping address for Alan. And you can also add a new shipping address. You can say, hey, no, send this to Maravik and last name P, and it's 123 address and 123 city and 123 state, and zip code is 0011 or whatever. I'm just making something up now, right? And save this for my order and then put the order notes as, hey, don't bother the dog, or don't upset the dog. He'll bite you, right? Whatever people put in their e-commerce notifications. Don't upset the dog. Okay, boom. Now, continue to payment. So he's going to continue to payment. And what do you see? You see a familiar site. A new GaragePay checkout has been invoked for this $1. And it says, hey, please finish the payment. So now this is the magic. We can enter a coupon code. I spent 2 calls talking about the crazy coupon code NFT system where people can say, but leave all of that. That will come back later. Pay $1. What if the guy's paying from India? He can click India. What if the guy's paying from the US? He can click the US. What if he's paying with crypto? He can click crypto. Tomorrow, when we onboard euros or pounds, what if he's paying with that? But the business owner, when he created this product, just wants to get paid in USD. GaragePay, just like it does for all of the digital products, abstracts everything away. For the sake of this argument, I'm going to pay in rupees just to prove the difference that the guy wanted in USD, but the customer's still able to pay in rupees. And I'm going to use something called UPI, which is a really, really local payment system to show you guys how dynamic the system is and open up. It'll come up with the QR code, which is what UPI is. It allows you to pay with your phone. And I'm just making the payment. Payment successful for 95 rupees, which is $1. It picked up the fact that the payment is available. If it was USD credit card, it could have gone to Stripe. If it was USD Garage Wallet, you can pay with Garage Wallet. If you want to pay with your affiliate wallet, you can pay with your affiliate wallet. So now this has been completed. And if you go back here, it says, thanks for your payment. View my orders. Done. If I click view my orders, it's going to show my one product, which is my product ready for shipping. Confirmed. Okay. So now I just have to wait. And at any point I can come back and see all my orders. As the customer, I can click account. I can click account settings. I can click orders and I can see my new Apple Watch case is on the way. Shipping, tax, all of it. I can cancel the order and I can see the status of the order on the right-hand side confirmed. That's it. His job is done. Just like an Amazon shopper comes, picks his products, purchases out, waiting. Now he's just waiting for the product to arrive. Well, what happens once the product is purchased? You go back to the business owner side and you get to go under orders and you get to see, wow, a new order from Red Baron 2020 at gmail.com for an Apple Watch and it's unfulfilled. Why don't we fulfill it? This is on the business owner side. He clicks this and what does he get? He gets the full Big Mac combo inside. Like he gets everything. He gets to see the details of the customer, where to ship it, but he has this order lifecycle management system, which is like what all commerce companies use, where first it goes into pending, it goes into confirmed. Once the company can confirm that the payment has been received. Sorry, I know it's very small font, but that's like because we have a lot of information on here. I'm making the screen a little bit bigger. Payment has been confirmed. That means the confirmed status comes up. The next step, is it ready to ship? The only person that knows that is the business owner. So the business owner has to come and say, yeah, we're ready to ship. Boom. As soon as he moves it ready to ship, all the shipping options come available. ShipRocket, Delivery, Blue Dart, FedEx, India. Well, India Post is only for India. DTDC, DLH, eCart. And tomorrow, if there's another logistics company that they want us to integrate with, we will integrate with it. Let's say you click ShipRocket, then boom. ShipRocket has its own pricing, standard or express. Put in the pricing details. This is all stuff that the e-commerce, the merchant, the company, the founder, the business owner knows what to do, puts the shipping cost, generates the shipping label, prints the shipping label, puts it on his packaging, and gets that baby out of here. Once he does that, right now it's just saying printed shipping label. He has to print that. This is what the shipping label looks like, automatically generated by us. He can print it, download it, and copy the link to track it. He sends that, and now Blue Dart or FedEx or whoever he picked is on its way tomorrow or whenever the date is to pick up the order. Now, once the founder, the merchant, sends off the package, he clicks moved to shipped, and the product is now in status moved to ship. All along the way, the customer can keep track of what's going on. See, now when I refresh my order here, it's all shipped in progress, and I got the ShipRocket tracking ID provided by FedEx or UPS or Blue Dart, which allows the customer to figure out once it's shipped, where in God's name this product is. Is it making its way across the Atlantic or above some mountains or wherever it is? That's provided by the logistics company. Once the logistics company drops off the product, it gets marked as delivered and the job is done and we do it all over again. So this is a back and forth. 1 second, lads. I'll just finish up and then we'll take it back. This is an example of a perfect use case. Customer came, bought one single thing from one single vendor. It was pretty straightforward. His payment didn't fail, meaning he had money. It went back to the manufacturer or the business owner. He was able to put everything through. Everybody's happy, PT key, and the product arrived at his location. In the real world, maybe 50% of orders transpire in this glorious fashion, because the other 50% are subject to the vagaries of global commerce, such as the guy's payment didn't go through, the guy was at home when he wanted to get delivered, this guy ran out of stock as a business owner, the product, the exact specification wants to have it. But we as the platform, our job is to work with business owner all the tool to be able to manage all of those negative use cases as well, which we do. This, by the way, what I just showed you is what Shopify has built a $250 billion business out of. Shopify is not even Amazon. They don't even do the logistics. They simply give the merchants, 6.9 million merchants, by the way, this infrastructure to be able to sell their products around the world. One last point I want to make on this, which is my favorite point of all. I'm going to go back now to the business owner's office. This business owner is called Garage.app. The store owner is called Garage.app. Okay. So I'm going to go to his office, my.garage.app, to the app that you guys know well. So since I'm the owner of that app, it's really easy. I'm going to go down to Vault and I'm going to go down to Store Wallet. And I'm going to be able now here be able to manage my commissions that were paid out. So the same way, people, you can see right here, sale of Apple Watch case, 95 cents. By the way, let me tell you how crazy this is. Sale of Apple Watch case, 95 cents. First point, why is it not $1?
Because they took the e-commerce fee.
The 5% payment you got it. The 5% garage payment processing fee was deducted. First point. Second point. As soon as I got the 95 cents, what was happening here? Affiliate commission level 1 deducted 10%. Affiliate commission level 2 deducted 5% and sent to Alan's uplines automatically. But you may notice something, that there's also another commission that was just paid out. The territory commission to the country owner, which is the first instantiation of the automatic payout of that 1.25% payment processing fee out of the 5%. Because even that now is automated, but we won't cover that in this call. We will cover that in a subsequent call, or else that will just be too much. So what you guys just witnessed is an entrepreneur creating his new e-commerce product, Apple Watch case, selling it to Joe Schmo, Jeff Smith down the street, in this case, Alan buying it in rupees. The business owner getting paid, not having to worry about commissions getting automatically distributed, fees getting distributed back to the territory owner, and then business owner's job of being able to fulfill the order and him getting all the tools to be able to do so. This repeated how many ever times? 400 million times a year is Amazon, right? This repeated, and you have one of the most valuable companies ever created. I actually believe this is more impactful than Amazon. Amazon reserves all of their profits for themselves, but in this case, because the business owner wanted a 2-level payout, 2 other people just got paid, even though they had no influence, realistically speaking, on Alan buying whatever he just bought, and definitely won't have influence on the following products Alan chooses to buy. Because if he has a good experience with that Apple Watch or whatever the hell he just bought, he will now return to this as his mode of the best case scenario, as his preferred retailer, and the person that signed him up will get paid forever on every single thing that he buys. Lance, please, yes, go ahead.
Yes, 2 questions. So you showed us how we could choose, the business owner who has a product, choose how we want to mail this, UPS, FedEx, etc.
Yeah.
When we sign up, when we put in our information, will we program our UPS account for when we click on UPS?
Yes.
That's question number 1.
Yes.
Question number 2, me, a small business person, might not have the best rate with UPS. Will there be a point in the future when we could use the power of Garage and the volume of people using UPS/FedEx in the United States to get a breakpoint fee.
We've already started to do that with ShipRocket, which is one of those vendors that you saw. So ShipRocket is India-based. They deliver everywhere in India in like a day. And so we have a corporate relationship with them. So if you click ShipRocket, you can either enter your own credentials or you can use our account, whereby you get obviously a preferential rate that as we grow and grow will become more preferential. Of course, we would love to do the same thing with UPS and FedEx and all the providers, DHL and all of the providers. So yes, and that's the, and of course, the end goal here is to eventually reconstruct as much of the logistics supply chain as possible. So if we come to the terms that Allen's province of Ontario is buying $10 million, $20 million worth of stuff every year, now we as Garage, apart from already having developed leveraged relationships with UPS, will go and build the last mile delivery infrastructure ourselves. That's our long-term goal, right? That's the only way you can kind of reinforce your kind of global logistics position. That's what Amazon spent the last 15 years doing, right? Building warehouses. And that's really their entrenched advantage. But at the beginning, all of the flexibility is there for you to choose who you want to ship with. And so, yeah, that's the Reader's Digest version. Now, as you guys bring to me or you guys experience from the retailers that I onboard. So, for example, Alan has a person who has been very excited to sell peptides. I mean, I think there's a lot of demand for, a lot of people that want to sell peptides, actually. So when we will onboard that peptide manufacturer and alongside a bunch of other humans, and as I'm doing that, with whoever you guys refer to me, you guys will get a better understanding of the other doohickeys, which I will also illustrate on these calls. But it's the best way to kind of get a feel for this is to actually see it in action, right? So today we covered the straightforward product creation, commission, instantiation, then order purchase, and then order fulfillment. And now you figure out, well, how do we amplify this? Well, we amplify this with discounts, offers, giveaways, reoccurring purchases. There's a million ways to make it better. And now we're going to go down that journey with one additional caveat, which is the live shopping. So I'm going to bet the company. This is more of an internal thing than for end customers, but I'm literally betting the company on live shopping. I'm that bullish that live shopping is the direction in which global commerce is going. So just for you that don't know, live shopping is something called in our app, it's called Garage TV. Okay. So if you go on Garage TV right now, you can see all of the webinars done being live streamed into Garage TV by every company. Now, you may wonder why somebody would want to live stream out this webinar where I'm presenting a very technical explanation on affiliates. That's not how they're going to be. They're not going to be like this. They're going to be people trying on dresses and people trying on heels and people unboxing phones. And I believe, and there's going to be some announcements about this over the next couple of days, that's going to be really the future of commerce. I think that's where we will make the inroads on Amazon as well. So I will leave it there so that I have, there's so much more I can speak about. Because since it's been a couple of days, I have like a pocket full of ammunition. But with that being said, I would like to open it up for questions, if any. If not, I would like Alan to start speaking about if he can wake himself up from his slumber. I feel very bad for him. It's 2:30 in the morning for him, guys. So bear with him. It's very nice that he's able to join. But Alan, would you like to comment on anything related to BAT 246, as we are now 1 month and 3 days away from the launch of BAT 246? For those of you that don't know, BAT 246 coming out prior to the Garage product launch so that people can really get a taste of it. Alan, anything off of the top of your head?
Yeah, June 16th we're launching, right?
Yeah, that's why I said 1 month and 3 days. Because in India, it's 13th right now, June 13th. May 13th.
And everybody who joins 5246 gets 120 hours, and he gets to put in 2 sales. And when you put 2 sales in at 650 each, you get 246% each. That means you get 1,600 times 2. That's 3,200. And as of June 16th, I will now be in the network marketing business for 32 years.
You're
So
old.
it's a bit of a celebration. Might not mean much, but
You're old.
yeah. Anyways, this is version 13. It's the latest, greatest version. Nothing close to it. Last one I ran was actually version 10 going years ago, 7 years ago. And it's been updated dramatically so much that even you don't know. There's a couple updates that they're going to put on top of the system that allow us, let's see who we got in here. Divine, Easy, Les, Will, the Note Taker is going to be freaking busy as hell. Bradley's in there. And the fake Bill McDermott is in there as well.
Bill McDermott.
Anyways, it's going to allow, Easy, you like this one. It's going to allow you to sell the third world country, India, Philippines, Nigeria, any third world country. Also, the first world country at 650. The third world country is 165, both on the same board. So if you sell for 650, you're selling one spot, one position getting 1,600. But if you sold somebody in the Philippines and only 165, you'd be moving your board by a quarter spot. So you got 1 1/4 sales. You don't need to be on 2 boards. You don't ever have to be on the 650. Sorry, the 165. But as far as products go, I don't know if you know the thing called the Big Mac Index. So the Big Mac Index is a place where you can go rate monies according to different places around the world. Big Macs, McDonald's is everywhere, right? So for example, when I was in the Philippines, the Big Mac meal deal was $4 US. But at the same time in the United States, it was $12 to $14. So basically, if I'm in the Philippines, I'm buying a Big Mac meal deal, I pay $4 US, but if I'm in the States and I'm buying it, I would pay 12 to 14. So in other words, it's only 25 or 33%. So let's say it's 33%. So if you're selling something for $6.50 in the States, then we're for the third world country, be it the Philippines, 110 million, only 13 million cars. I mean, Canada has 40 million people and 80 million cars, just to give you an idea. Okay? So there's only 13 million cars. So very few people have cars. They all walk for a long point. But the point is they pay way less money. They pay way less when equals way less money. So if I had something for 650 in Canada or the United States, then in the Philippines should be something in the line of a 33% or even as low as 25%. And so what I've done is I've positioned it so that they can get in for basically a quarter when you get in the first world country. So a combination of those are called a pod. This allows you to make a sale to a guy with money, a broke-ass guy off the street, a bum off the street, or a guy just get a welfare check, or a guy in the Philippines, or a rich guy in India, or a broke guy in India. It allows you to get everybody, and they don't go anywhere different. You go to the exact same spot. You don't have to re-enter another board or anything like that. It's one spot, fits all. Everybody can fit in there. So it's a really powerful thing because
to just recap his point, basically, there's going to be an option that allows a quarter package. So you could buy 650 or you could buy 1/4 of a board entry for $165, which still
and that's called a pod.
That's called a pod, yeah. So that is a really big advantage. We had a lot of feedback, or Alan had a lot of feedback of people primarily in the Philippines that had requested that. So we put that together. And there's also another product. So you guys know that there's the Garage annualized offices with the white light. There's a huge offer that's coming for the 650. But also over the next couple of days, we'll be announcing another offer that will be allowed to be sold within the 650, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But before I show you guys that, before I release that into BAT 246, I need to show you the new franchise system, which you guys are all beneficiaries of. I believe every single person on this call needs to log into their franchise app so then they can start seeing the commissions for the payments that are being now dispensed for their territories and sub-territories. So once we show you that, or once we get you access to that that's what I want to do on tomorrow's call. So tomorrow's call will be the updated franchise system call. and also giving you guys all access to the territories that you guys
I really think when it comes to franchises, people have zero idea about trying to do a franchise for their items. Maybe they're selling cigarettes, maybe they're selling a pop, maybe they're selling just a freaking baseball hat. And they have a zero idea. They don't think about setting up a franchise because who's going to buy a franchise to a Adidas baseball hat? Blah. Who's going to buy that? Right? Nobody would buy it, and it costs you so much to set up a franchise and everything. Well, imagine Garage is going to set up the entire franchise system where you literally press a button and you're in the franchise and you can make as many as you want. You got a whole year's supply, as many as you want. So 50,000, I think you said that you had 3,300 territories, and when you went sub-territories, you went to about 1,000.
Not to jump ahead, because I wanted to cover this tomorrow, the Garage franchise and software, which you guys will see tomorrow, which you guys are already beneficiaries of because you guys own territories, is so advanced now and is becoming so advanced. As I have mentioned in the previous weeks, it will be something that we offer as a service to other companies. And
you're going to offer a paint by number so the guy can paint in his laptop as he wants.
They can configure into that, like a bit like, say, the guy that just sold the Apple Watch on Garage e-commerce. He now wants to come and set up territorial distribution pipelines and these type of specialties in different locations in different countries. He can now tap into this entire franchising software, which I'll show you tomorrow. B, the existing Garage network of territory owners, sub-territory owners in countries, and he'll be able to configure his royalties directly into the GaragePay system the way that he configures his commissions. So
listen, when you explained it properly, I thought about it for a second, and I thought, well, why would I ever want to do it?
From a business owner's perspective, or are you speaking from the franchisee's perspective?
No, from a business owner's perspective, I didn't see the advantage, at first. And I said, wait a minute, because I'm selling this anyways. It's going to go crazy. It's going to go definitely big in Ontario and, maybe someplace in the States and England, whatever. But, geez, I don't really have much people in South Africa. I don't have much people in Brazil. I mean,
China.
Maybe China for sure. Maybe I could sell a territory for Brazil. And now I got somebody really pushing Brazil, which I'm not. My team is not. Now I've got this whole extra sales team coming in. How do I get the guy in? How can I afford to get him in and walk with profit, because he's now selling in an area that I wasn't going to be selling anyway. So it'll be more selling.
Stands that area because he's there.
Right. So when you advertise, you have the territory and the franchise available for whatever you got, whether it's a glass of water, pop, whatever it is. You might think it's crazy to sell somebody a territory for 500,000 population or something like that, whatever it is, to sell him a territory for that. But what happens, he gets exclusive rights for something that he's excited about in an area that he lives. And so he's going to really pay attention to it. It actually locks in the salesperson. He's got this advantage over anyone else. And so he is like the owner of the area. So it just gives him a better feel-good, pat on the back feeling, not to mention the money, right? And therefore, he's kind of like, in our way, they say, if you put 9 levels deep on top of each other, on top of each other, 9 levels deep, and that keeps people in. But I think keeping somebody in, if he becomes the owner of an area for his particular product that he likes, that's going to mentally keep the guy in, besides the side cash he's picking up extra.
Absolutely. So we will discuss that tomorrow, and that will be very influential and impactful to BAT 246. And between now and June 16th, which is the launch of BAT 246, we'll have a lot of updates, and we want to get everybody ready so that they can make as much money in the first week or 2 weeks of BAT 246 launching as humanly possible, because that's great for Garage and that's great for all of the participants involved. And so, now the big guns are out. And we are heading toward.
So for those of you that are short on your mouth and you won't be able to answer this, it's okay. I'll be 32 years in network marketing as of June 16th. And I never passed the age of 28. I've always been 28 when I turned 28, and my next birthday was coming along. I just became the first anniversary of my 28th birthday. And just so happens that I've had 32 anniversaries. So if you do the math, you can figure out how old I am.
You're old, man. You're old.
Older than most.
So Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow, same time, we will be there. Please do connect me to any e-commerce companies that you know of. We're trying to work with them very closely.
I say one more thing about the pod.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people may not get it, but if you've been down to the Ferris wheel, the great big one that line up at the fair, it's crazy. And the Ferris wheel, the pod comes down and it seats 4 people. You and your wife are there, and they stop 2 others with you. And then they move up to the next pod and so on. That's the pod. The pod holds 4. And because of the big lineup, they stick you 4 in there, right? So imagine a pod on the board, and it doesn't matter who gets who. Doesn't matter if you get a 165 guy and the 165 guy gets 165, or the 165 guy gets a 650. Doesn't matter. But if the 165 guy goes into the pod sits there on cloud 9, sits there and sits there and sits there until there's 4. Once there's 4, calls work, boom, he comes on the board. Simple as that. 4 people are now splitting one spot. They share the money. Whatever they can do is a special way to share it. A quarter is the easiest way. You get a quarter of the money. Simple as that. So you bring in somebody for 165, you don't get 1,600, but you get 400. Oh, $165 sale and they get 400. That's 246%. Wow.
You're not old enough for
Now it's starting to sound pretty cool, isn't it?
Amazing. Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, guys.
Okay, take care. Mario was here too. Hi, Mario. Mario and Les and Will and No Takers hanging around. And Divine and Easy was here. Okay, guys, take care.